Cox Show. 216-578-1007 or 1-800-348-1007.
Well, she broke my heart in Walgreens and I cried all the way to Sears. I tell you, I hadn't hurt this much in darn near 20 years. It felt just like a mule that kicked me right between my ears. When she broke my heart in Walgreens and I cried all the way to Sears. There was a time when I believed that she belonged to me. She told me that I was the only one she'd ever need. That was before this trucker came and took her for a ride. Now there's nothing I can do to keep her satisfied. I didn't know what was going on, but I knew there was something wrong. Suddenly she'd get headaches every time we were alone. When she finally told me we were downtown at the mall, and it hit me like a ton of bricks, and I thought for sure I'd fall. Well, she broke my heart in Walgreens, and I cried all the way.
Well, they held on as long as they possibly could. You might have passed a random Rite Aid here and there, but they've been winding them down, and it's over and out for Rite Aid. They're going to shut down the remainder of the Rite Aid locations in Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. And apparently they're selling all of their pharmacy medical data to Walgreens. That's where the big money is now, when you get the medical data. When you get the, not necessarily the data, but like the prescription accounts for people who are going to that particular pharmacy.
There's one on Snow that's shut down. I was driving to my sister's house the other day, and I was like, Rite Aid.
There was one at like Clegg and Center Ridge maybe in Westlake, and this would have been a year ago or something, and I just had to grab something really quickly. It was on my way to somewhere else, and I was like, I'm going to run into Rite Aid. I didn't even, it was early in the morning, I was oblivious to the signs on the windows that said, like, everything must go or something.
Yeah.
And I walked in there and didn't realize that's what was going on. And it was like a bomb had gone off.
Oh, yeah.
Like the greeting cards, there were like 3 of them left.
Yeah.
I go, what the hell is going on in here?
Just envelopes.
Yes. So that has finally come to pass. For a long time, Rite Aid was like the spot. If you needed a place.
It's probably like the first pharmacy that I remember.
I mean, I grew up in Walgreens country. I mean, Walgreens is headquartered in Chicago, but like when I lived in Pittsburgh, there's a chain called Eckerd. I don't know if they're still around. A lot of these things merge. You got Duane Reade in New York and on the East Coast. But like Rite Aid, you could usually find just about anywhere, as I recall. But those are all going away. So CVS and Walgreens are still around, but even the CVS's have. Walgreens might end up being the last man standing. I don't know. Guardians win last night. It's 3-2 over the Orioles. Tonight, 6:05 is when we will get out of here, make room for your pregame coverage. 6:35 is first pitch tonight there at Camden Yards. The catch of the evening might have been the guy who caught the Naylor foul ball with his bare hand. He reaches out his right hand. He's got a drink and his phone in the other.
Mm-hmm. Just snacks it. He's like all by himself.
Yeah.
Just in the upper deck.
Top of the third, Naylor yanks a foul ball about 109 miles per hour.
The guy just grabs it very casually, just like, boop,
But it's not going that fast by the time it gets up to him.
It's still going fast.
Still going
I mean,
fast,
still, even if it's going slow, you got to reach up and grab it.
Spin on it. There's good deception. Josh Naylor whacks one down the line and way foul. And caught by the one guy up there who's got a drink and a phone in his hand. What? Got it in the hat? No, he just barehanded it.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Terrible.
That's insane.
That's insane. He is the only guy out there. A guy named Tim Byer, who was there in the corner there of the upper deck. And
Look at this guy.
He was a high school baseball outfielder 25 years ago. He won a state championship at Chesapeake High School back then. And, of course, they wanted to talk to the guy.
I'm here with Tim from Pasadena. Tim, we saw the catch. It was phenomenal. Now you're here with who are you here with?
Here with my wife and daughter. They weren't here for the catch, though. They were down in the bouncy house and
priorities.
Absolutely, priorities, for sure.
Are you aware that a national online publication has already nominated you for Fan Catch of the Year?
I don't know. Would that come with the contract? Is Rex Barney still around? I could go for that.
You definitely get a contract with that.
Let's do it.
Now, you're a high school baseball player, am I right?
I did 25 years ago down in Chesapeake High School in Anne Arundel County.
Outfielder?
Outfielder. State champs '97, baby.
Now, you caught the ball with your right hand. Your right-hand thrower. So that's tough because normally we're accustomed to catching with our left hand.
But when you're good, you're good.
Now, can I? Because Kevin Brown probably had his best call of the year. Kevin Brown gets great calls. He was more excited for you than he was for a Gunnar Henderson home run.
Sure. I was more excited for the Gunnar Henderson home run, for sure. We need another one.
Definitely right now.
For sure, absolutely.
Now, I'm going to play color commentator on this.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm giving you all the points because the ball traveled a long way and a lot of velocity was gone. By the time you got it, a lot of velocity was gone. So I don't know.
Yeah, it was like nothing.
Yeah, it was not a laser, right?
Oh, yeah, nothing. No big deal.
How many games you come to?
I mean, we're 30 games a year, and for 30 years, and never called a foul ball. So, yeah, for
That's
sure.
your
First one.
And you made national TV. Hey, man, thanks a lot. Enjoy the rest of the game, my friend.
Boy, imagine your wife and your kid are in the bouncy house, and you're on television catching that ball. Yeah. Yep. I didn't realize there was a Pasadena, Maryland. I mean, it's not like I know every single town in Maryland, but I didn't know that Pasadena was a city in Maryland. Wonder if we have a bureau chief in.
You think he was already like the Peakton High School guy, and now it's even worse?
I thought he was pretty cool about it,
He
though.
was
He's like,
pretty
hey,
cool.
yeah, it was a long time ago. I wasn't getting that vibe off of him. He was
Okay.
just right place, right
And
time.
was funny about it.
Yeah.
Like the whole, when you're good, you're good. Like he's
Self-deprecating
having fun.
about it, yeah. But I'll tell you what. Here's my hot take. Had his wife and kid been there, it never would have happened. This is a guy on his own. Wife and the kid are right.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't go with them.
Yeah.
He didn't take the kid to the bouncy house. He's like, and
That's women's work.
well, but this is also a guy. He says he goes to 30 games a year.
Yeah.
That's a lot of games.
He's a big baseball fan.
Big fan. Big Birds fan. So yeah, this guy, he might. It's not as salacious. I was gonna say he might displace the Hawk Tua girl, but I guess it's apples and oranges, isn't
No.
it?
And he's not as hot.
He's a good-looking dude, though.
He's not a 22-year-old girl who's hot. Talking
Well,
about
but it's two different audiences.
lettuce,
It's two
yeah.
different audiences.
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk to it. Spit on that thing.
Have you heard the Hawk Tua remix? I like that
Hey,
one.
which one? There's a million.
Yeah. 12-inch dance remix.
Spit on that thing. Hawk to it.
Where's the drop?
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk to it. Spit on that thing. Spit on that thing.
There we go.
Hawk to it.
Oh, Hawk Tua girl. Haley, the Hawk Tua girl.
I toured my girlfriend last night and she was dying laughing.
I got a email from Melanie. She goes, "Hey, I saw this coming home from work. The marquee or the sign there in Barberton, east of Chicago Pizza. Their sign there says Hawk Tua on our large sausage.
oh god.
Trying to move some pizzas there out east of Chicago. Boy, they are east of Chicago.
I didn't know those were still around. That was like my favorite.
I think there's like a
pizza.
couple
That was
of
like
them.
the trendiest. Like in
I love.
when I was in like middle school and high school, if you didn't get that, everybody's like, your party sucked.
Right.
Oh, really?
I didn't even think it was that good, but I just
I
didn't
loved
want to
it.
be ostracized.
Do they still have Old Chicago? You ever been to one of those?
No.
It's called Old Chicago.
Yeah, I've heard of those.
There was one near, there's one in Lansing. You know, my older kids go to Michigan State, and one time I was there,
I love pizza.
and I went in to eat one time, and then the next time I was there, it had, when I was in there was like nobody in there, and it's good. But the next time I was there, I'm like, this place has completely closed down. I didn't know if they had them in Ohio. They do not, according to this. No, basically everywhere else, but not in Ohio. Pizza and tap room. Hey, people pointing out that CB radio, you have to be really close to other people. So that wouldn't really work for Alex Jones's purposes if he's going to have a second or third act after this bankruptcy judge determined that InfoWars was, in fact, going to be dismantled and sold off for parts, I guess. But there might be somewhere he can pop up. I was reading about how flat earthers are getting their own, well, they call it a reality television show, but if you're a flat earther, you're pretty removed from reality. But, you know, these streaming platforms, they're looking for warm bodies, right? They're looking for stuff to put in front of people's eyeballs. And so a channel, I don't know which yet, but there's a new reality TV show in the works that will pay conspiracy theorists money to prove that the Earth is shaped like a Frisbee. It's part docuseries, part competition show. Now, this is the best kind of prize to offer because it can't be won. You can't win a $50,000 prize proving that the Earth is flat.
And that's it? Like a scientific anomaly that has a whole community of people, 50 grand?
They will supply conspiracy theorists with $50,000 worth of resources to conduct, quote, research. And then they will present their findings to a panel of scientists, cartographers, and for whatever reason, theologians. They can convince a majority of the judges that the Earth is indeed flat. They will win a cash prize.
Oh,
now, it's a prize that can't be won, obviously. But I guess there's some new streaming app that's free that's called The Network. And I would have to imagine they don't have a lot of content yet. Probably haven't signed any licensing deals if they're doing this. But this is a good way to get people talking about it and to, you know. So if you, let's say you are a flat earther, there's an opportunity there.
Even if you're not a flat earther.
Well, you got to really love that nonsense to drill down and try to prove it to a panel of judges.
Okay, but when they say cite your sources, are you allowed to cite flat earth sources? Like they're not going to be research developers or like scientific journals.
Well, but that's the point.
I saw on Wikipedia.
I guess you would have to, it sounds more like, you know, what a lawyer does. Mm-hmm. Beyond a reasonable doubt, you're going to have to convince a panel of judges this information proves that the Earth is flat.
What if you're a scientist who gets turned? What if you're one of the judges and you're like, oh, man.
What could possibly do that?
Making a lot of sense.
What would be compelling enough evidence that the Earth was flat?
I don't know. I haven't heard it.
My thought is always, you know, I know conspiracy theories in general are fun because it makes you feel important and pretend that there's information that you found that other people don't have. But I always thought flat Earth was weird because there are so many more interesting ones you could go after. I guess maybe people feel like they've squeezed every little bit of juice out of the Kennedy thing, as old as that is. Moon landing's pretty lame, too. There's got to be a couple that if you really drill down, you could be like, yeah, okay. Like you might have a chance of convincing people. You're not going to convince reasonable people who have eyeballs that the Earth is flat. But, you know, like do a deep dive on Epstein. I know there's too many, for the conspiracy theory crowd, there's too many skeletons really in the Epstein situation that they don't want unearthed. Understand that, but still.
There's a very funny guy who goes...
Boy, he better be.
He goes viral on TikTok because he plays this character that's a conspiracy theorist as a drug dealer. So, like, you pull up in your car, like, in a shady area, and this guy in a tinfoil hat comes up. He's like, third time this week, what are you looking for? And the guy's like, I don't know, man. You got to surprise me. He's like, you want to hear about blah, blah, blah. And he goes, you want to hear about JFK and all his mistresses? He's like, nah, man, I got that 2 weeks ago. I need something better. And so it's really funny.
It's the same thing. You got to feed the beast.
Yeah, it's like a 12-part series about how that's all that they are. That these people are drug dealers for the... And he just comes up with wild, crazy things.
You're always chasing that first high.
Yes, yes. It's really funny.
Well, yeah.
I don't know if
It's really funny, but it's also so
cusses in it.
depressing.
It is, well, because it's real, and
Yeah.
it's. I think that's what makes me laugh so hard is that I'm like, this is my brother. This is my MAGA
dad,
brother. Yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't believe that the Earth is flat.
No, but he believes in some of the bigger 9/11's an inside job. He fully believes
Oh,
that
he does?
that was done by George Bush. And
To what end?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't
That's a
entertain
war.
it.
No, but I mean, but he would have an answer.
I've never asked it. When he starts going on, I'm like, I don't have the energy for this.
Huh.
And then
I have to assume he begins these tirades unprompted.
No, not always. Sometimes it'll always end up
How the hell
coming
do you
up.
get on 9/11?
I don't know, man.
They always have a way to bring
there's a
things
way
up.
for
No,
it to
that's what I
come
mean.
up.
Like literally, like
He would, but she said no.
Yeah.
He doesn't bring them up. How does that come up in
I'm saying if
casual
we're
conversation?
talking about anything, or like me living in New York or whatever. So like,
Oh, the towers there
yeah.
in New York.
One of my favorite times, we were all sitting around. My brother was in town from Idaho, and my sister still lived here, and we're all just sitting around the fire. And there was a lull, and my dad goes, "It's crazy what happened to Mike Lindell." And then, like, it was around the time that he was attacked or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we all just like looked at each other, and we're like, "No, we're not taking the bait, Dad."
You don't go, what happened to him?
No, we didn't want to, because we don't want to engage.
Yeah, but sometimes I'm curious to hear what they think.
No, I don't want to.
It's
I don't want to. I don't.
I
wanna,
understand that too.
because it's depressing when that's your dad. That's like, this is a guy that he admires.
Yeah. The pillow guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha.
See, the other one that my brother firmly believes in is that there's like 3 people in the world that control all the money. That will,
And let me guess, they're all Jewish.
no, I don't know about that, but that like we'll never ever know who they actually are. But there are like less than, maybe it's not 3, but less than 10 people who are basically puppet masters. That they're like.
But why does it have to be such a small group? There are obviously, in general, things are run by very, very wealthy people.
And he's saying
You don't need more than that.
he's
Like
saying even those people report to these 10 people.
But why that extra level? Why does it I mean, 10's a
don't
nice
know.
round number, commandments, and but why does, I'm always curious, why does there have to be a small, like a triumvirate of people?
Because they're bad people and they cause all the wars and they are the ones who
But all the
profit
wealthy,
off of that.
But all the
and-
billionaires already have a hand in that. We don't need it
But
to.
the billionaires report to the secret 0.00001% quadrillionaires.
And why that?
They're evil?
They're evil.
I don't know.
Oh.
But I'm saying those are the 2 I hear about a lot. Is the 9/11 one and that like 5 people in the whole world control all the money and make all the decisions for everybody. That even politicians like everybody reports to those to some degree to those 5 people.
I see. 5 people. I mean, you'd think with a number that small, if there are hundreds of billionaires around the world, it's easy to fade into the hedges when you're one of 100 or 200 or 300. It's real hard to hide when you're one of 5.
But nobody knows who they are.
Somebody
That's the
would know
whole
who they.
point.
But
That's
somebody
what
would
I've
know
said.
who
And
they
he's
were.
like, no, they're so hidden. They'll never be discovered. They'll never be like put out to the public.
I see.
That even the 100 billionaires don't even know who they're reporting
He's thinking
to.
of like Dr. Evil living in a mountain.
Yes,
I see.
I think.
Huh.
They're so remote and they're just pulling strings.
And how does that affect his life?
They affect everybody's life
Oh.
all day long.
All right. Well. All right. I got a break here. I will have.